All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk about Perfect Dark. Now, a lot of people are talking about Perfect Dark because it's yet another example of what happens when you decide to do modern audience aesthetics with your game characters that people obviously don't like. They don't like this aesthetic, and yet they keep pushing it and keep going for it because this is what they want to do with female characters. They want to make them androgynous so that trans people can feel better about themselves for the 2 or 3 of them that are going to play this game. We have an article here from That Park Place with a headline that reads, Microsoft and Xbox gets roasted for making Perfect Dark's Joanna Dark look like a man.
I will never have sex with you, ever.
Now, quite frankly, I gotta be honest with you guys. Yes, she does look more manly, without a doubt. She's got that jaw, the very typical jaw that they are using for every single female character now in modern gaming. That beautiful masculine jaw. She's got the weird butt chin thing going on here that they like to do as well with the butt chin. And obviously, my biggest complaint is they just make her look boring. That is really what it is. They make her look extremely plain, and they make her look boring because, look at this. I mean, there is literally nothing special about this character. It is completely androgenized for a reason because they want to make sure that they remove any sort of speciality to people, femininity, especially the female characters. They want to do that. Look at the downgrade. Look at the downgrade. You got to be kidding me, right? And you got people disingenuously representing Joanna and saying, oh, it's because it's realistic graphics. That's the reason why the jaw is not angular. Fuck that shit. Miss me with that nonsense. We have realistic graphics characters that don't look like NFL linebackers. So let's get into this article, guys, from That Park Place. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So it says gamers are roasting Microsoft Xbox developer The Initiative and Crystal Dynamics following gameplay reveal for Perfect Dark during the Xbox Game Showcase of 2024. The companies released a gameplay reveal for their Perfect Dark reboot that sees Agent Joanna Dark arrive in Garden City, and she's tasked on preventing an attack by a man named Carrington. Following the gameplay reveal, players took issue with the character design of Joanna Dark, noting that they make her look more like a man than in previous versions of the franchise. Now, can we stop being surprised by this? We obviously need to keep talking about it because they hate when we talk about this. Let's be real. You got people out there that will do anything to try to gaslight you and tell you that that's not what they were trying to do. But we all know that that is obviously what they were trying to do. Don't miss me with this bullshit about realistic graphics and modern day engines being unable to portray femininity in the way that cartoony graphics were able to do back in the day. Miss me with that shit. The East is proving you wrong every single time. You cannot say it's impossible when you literally have entire countries over on the East proving you wrong. In South Korea, Japan, and whatnot, they all are proving you wrong by producing real feminine, realistic graphic females for everybody to enjoy, and yet you're over here with the fucking linebacker chin trying to pretend like you can't do it and that this is a modern representation of women. Fuck that shit. You are obviously lying to yourselves. Now, in terms of this particular angle, it is definitely a little more angular, her jaw, but at the end of the day, it is much wider, much more masculine than it was before, and also to her overall facial features, it's just much more masculine, and they'll try to pass it off as realism when we know it's not. It says, ex-user Monger Lawyer mocked Perfect Dark transforms you into the ultimate secret agent. Joanna Dark's perfectly symmetrical masculine jaw makes her the ideal candidate for disguising herself as a man on the most dangerous missions. One day she's Joanna, the next she's Jonathan. Now, looking at this picture and this comparison, I actually like the fact that they did this because this is genuinely what they're trying to do. They're trying to androgynize female characters so that it kind of blurs the line between what a woman is and what a man is naturally, physically, aesthetically. They're trying to blur the lines as much as possible, and then they're trying to pass it off as if it's the norm. They're trying to pretend as if this is how all women look, even though we know that they're aiming to just try to, I guess, adhere to the 1% 1% or 0.5% of men they want to dress up as women. That's basically it. So they get offended when they see ultra female characters that they know they can never attain naturally. They get offended when they see it. So they create characters like this so that with a simple swap, you can go from one or the other. You can seriously see yourself in any form by looking at this character. Look how easy it was to transform Joana to a man. It was very easy because the features were already there. All it took was a little bit of slight changes and you have a man instead of a female. That's what they want. They want a character that can do that. They want a character that can pass off like that. That's the entire reason that this is done. It says former World of Warcraft team lead Mark Kern reacted to a side-by-side of the new design and 2005's Perfect Dark Zero character design. He posted again with the jaw, Perfect Dark Zero. Yeah, 100%. You're going to get people gaslighting you, like I said, and telling you, well, this is animated, this is cartoony, that's why they can make it so angular, whereas in real life, it's not like that. I can show you literally hundreds of women that have jawlines that look like this in real life and all the realistic graphics that you could possibly want. Miss me with that shit. It's a complete gaslight. YouTuber Endymion wrote the modern audience the fuck out of Perfect Dark Zero, bro. What the fresh hell is this? YouTuber Melanie Mack wrote, I will never forgive them for this. Joana Dark gets the modern audience treatment. The disrespect. Comic book creator The Quaff wrote, shame they gender swapped Joana. Why is Microsoft afraid of female leads? Novelist John A. Douglas also posted, she looks like Duke Nukem in a Karen wig. Oh my God, jeez. They are roasting it. It is amazing. But you know what? They deserve to get roasted because you're gonna seriously try to pretend as if people are not supposed to notice what is so obviously in their face. You are doing this with all your characters. Very few, if any, of your female characters are actually feminine anymore. And it's not just Microsoft. I don't want to make it seem like a Microsoft only thing. You got all the companies doing it. The only ones that are not doing it are the games that are coming out from the East, right? They'll make characters that are just inherently very feminine, very beautiful, because that's what they like. That's what they know sells. They're not stupid. They're not out here trying to push some sort of agenda. And it's just, it goes to show that it completely destroys the absolute gaslight and lies that are coming out from the Western gaming studios. Michael Alfred, also wrote, they have also hired the same consulting company as the Horizon Forbidden West developers. Never forget what they took from you. Oh, so that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense because look what happened to Aloy. Look what happened to her in the sequel. She got the same exact treatment. She went from feminine and a little bit rugged to an absolute dude with a man jaw, fat, and just completely like, I guess, lesbian looking. Like that's really what it was. Zipley wrote, they replaced the main character with a man. Character design was not the only criticism the game faced. YouTuber Razorfist wrote on X, I confess, I didn't read Perfect Dark. Will become a Mirror's Edge clone in my tea leaves this morning. I guess we ran out of successful franchises, which Perfect Dark ironically is, and lapped around to mimeographing games that flopped now. Lucas also added, of all the IPs to dress up Deus Ex as Perfect Dark's a great pick, but I continue to be extremely skeptical of its presentation with everything is so bland. And that was kind of my point in the beginning of this video where I was trying to say, you know, forget like the jawline and everything that's so obvious in front of you. Even if you get gaslighted and you believe that they did this genuinely because that's how they wanted to represent Joana, at the end of the day, this is an extremely boring looking character. This is a boring looking world. You know, I've seen screenshots, I've seen gameplay trailers, but it just looks so bland. It's like they're so scared to showcase colors. They have to have everything be so plain and so bland because the more bland something is, the more than some of these trans people can see themselves in this game. That's really what it's for, man. I'm telling you, they are trying to go after the trans gays, and that's why they're making everything so fucking boring and bland. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.